Now, I've said it before on this channel, horror is my least favorite genre. I don't go to the movies to be intentionally scared. So when this time of year when all these movies come out, I very rarely go to the movies to see these films. But when a movie does have an interesting concept or it's getting a lot of positive buzz, I'll put on my big boy pants and go out and see it. It's been a while since I've seen the original. I don't ever remember seeing any of the sequels after it, so I kind of went in this film with fresh eyes and not with all these other films clouding my judgment. But as far as this film goes, from a technical standpoint with cinematography and everything involving the scares with Michael Myers, I really enjoyed that part about the movie. I was constantly looking for him in the background or waiting for him to pop around a corner or from behind something. So as far as the horror scares go, I thought they did that very well. A couple of jump scares here and there, and I can't stand jump scares, but there are a handful of issues that I have with this film that kind of bring it down for me. But before I get into those points, I want to talk about what I really liked about this movie. I really liked the tense scenes in this movie. I thought they were really well constructed, and especially in the climax of the film. I think the third act is its clear strength, and a lot of people will be coming out of this film liking that part of the movie, and that's what they really take with them when they leave the theater. And I like the callbacks to the original Halloween movie. There are several in here, especially one that I noticed that's kind of sort of a role reversal. I'm not going to spoil it, but I really like the callbacks. And now I know this might annoy some people, but I like the use of classic cliche horror elements. You know, the people making dumb decisions, going off into dark corners by themselves when there's a killer loose, or a girl falling over as Michael's chasing her. I just found those to be fun little nods to the original Halloween film, and I think that this movie has a right and proper use and the right amount of gore in this film as well, because for half the time you don't really see what's happening. Michael Myers will go around a corner and you'll hear him beating or stabbing someone to death, but you don't see it, and your mind's kind of left to fill in the gaps. And when you do actually see the gore, it's used effectively and to the right amount, and it's not like just there for pure gore porn. It's there to give you like a little bit of a punch and see what you were missing the earlier half of the movie. And unfortunately, those first 2 points are kind of like where my appreciation for this film kind of stops, because once you get away from Michael Myers and Laurie's story points, the movie gets boring in my opinion. It spends so much time with her daughter and her granddaughter. I just didn't care about her granddaughter going to a Halloween dance, and they spend so much time setting it up, and like I really don't think like the granddaughter's story point was all that necessary. I mean, I get why they want her in there, because it shows you how it affects her entire family through the years, and I get why they're doing that, but I think they just spent too much time with other story points where they could have been focusing on the point that really matters and where the actual climax of the film really ends up. And as far as actor wise, I think Jamie Lee Curtis had the only stand-up performance in my opinion. I mean, I liked her portrayal of the damaged and paranoid victim who's been spending pretty much her entire life now just paranoid that this person's going to come back, and just spending her time just preparing for this inevitable return of Michael Myers. But aside from her, everybody else's performance was just fine, and there's nobody else that really stood out to me. And really, I just felt like this movie was full of characters and plot points that really didn't add a whole lot to the story, because I felt that there's these two characters that their only purpose for being in this movie was so Michael Myers can get his mask out from like the evidence lockup or whatever, because they had this storyline set up, like this theme that they were exploring at the beginning of the film when these two characters were alive. But once they die, that just kind of goes away and never really comes up again. And also, I felt this movie had a really big pacing issue, because when Michael Myers is going on his killing spree, I was in the thick of it. It's like, yes, I want this movie to go like this the entire time. But once that scene ends, they'd cut back to this high school dance with their granddaughter, and it slows the pacing down so much. And I just was so bored while that was going on. I just want to get back to Michael Myers just killing people. And when it comes down to it, I just wanted to see Michael Myers be that unstoppable force that you keep hitting him, but he just keeps getting back up. And I wanted to see more of that. I wanted to see Michael Myers and Laurie Strode and their conflict, and just explore that more. And I wanted the majority of the movie to be like the third act of this film, because the third act is where all of that comes down, and I thought that was so well constructed. And that's where I think everybody's gonna sort of latch on and like about this movie, and sort of like give the first two acts a pass, because the third act is just so well constructed and so good. Because I was locked in the last third of this film, but I could have done without all the boring stuff in the first 2/3 of the movie. So I think if you're a fan of the horror genre, you will enjoy this film. People in my viewing certainly did. When it's executing what it does well, it's very entertaining, but its weaker elements hold it back for me, and it makes it a little boring at times. Overall, I'd say the movie is fine, so I'm giving Halloween 2.5 out of 5 stars. So now I want to know what you think. If you saw Halloween, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to like and share it and stay up to date on all the videos going up on this channel. Give the subscribe button a click. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.